asking if she could have an opening today. So thank you for your flexibility and last minute. Much appreciated. So our speaker is Sarah Wallace-Brodeur. She grew up in Montpelier, the youngest of 4 children. After graduating from UVM in '93 with a BA in political science, she married her 8th grade sweetheart. It's really sweet. And they moved to Essex Junction, where they raised their 3 kids. After being the primary parent at home for 10 years, Sarah began working for Vermont Family Network as a billing clerk. She was with Vermont Family Network for over 16 years, where she held a variety of roles. She stepped in as the interim executive director for 8 months and was the senior director of operations with her with a wealth of experience in nonprofit management and development. She's passionate about the support that the Cancer Patient Support Foundation provides to patients and is excited for the opportunity to grow the organization. And that's what she'll be speaking with us about today. So I will hand it to Sarah.
Thank you, everyone, for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. I just feel it's a great privilege to be able to come and speak to Rotary clubs. It gives me an opportunity to share about our organization, and I feel the more people who know about us, the better. On average, about 3,900 Vermonters are diagnosed with cancer each year. It's hard to find somebody who has not been touched by cancer, whether it be their own diagnosis or the diagnosis of a friend, neighbor, loved one, work colleague, somebody in their community. So, do the next slide. So the mission of the Cancer Patient Support Foundation is to serve Vermont cancer patients and their families during the time of extraordinary need by providing financial assistance and support during diagnosis, treatment, and recovery. And our vision is that all can face cancer with dignity, confidence, and serenity. So a little bit about our history. So the Cancer Patient Support Foundation was established in 2001 by a group of dedicated volunteers who realized at that time that there really was no psychological or nutritional supports for cancer patients. And so they decided to do something about it. And they formed, at that time, was Cancer Patient Support Program. And then in 2006, they decided to expand the program to raise money for the emergency fund, which could help patients pay for their basic living needs while they were going through cancer treatment. Then insurance companies decided, hey, it's a good idea. We should be paying for these psychological and nutritional services. So that need was now covered for cancer patients. And so the organization decided to solely focus on the emergency fund. And then in 2020, we began administering the Maggie Card program, which allows Vermont cancer patients to receive discounts on goods and services from participating businesses. So we are unique in Vermont. There are several organizations that do support cancer patients, but those organizations are either geographic specific or for a specific diagnosis or a specific need. So you may find a fund that will support you for your transportation costs, but nothing else. There are some funds in Franklin County. There's one in Central Vermont, one in Lamoille, but it's really for the people who live in those communities. So we are the only statewide nonprofit. And we support patients of any age, income, cancer diagnosis. So we are flexible and broad in our support. We do have a specific grant that allows us to support a small population of New York patients who are receiving treatment at UVM. So since 2001, we have awarded over $3 million to over 12,000 cancer patients. So our emergency fund is, yearly, we support just about 500, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, of cancer patients and their families. And we help pay for their basic living needs. We have had transportation be the #1 request for numerous years, which makes sense since we are a rural state and there are patients who are often traveling 100 miles or more round trip to get to their treatment. And if they're having to do that multiple times a week, that gets expensive for them. So that is our #1 request. And then utilities, housing, fuel assistance are also some of the top requests that we receive. The patients are referred to us by way of either their medical social worker or any provider who is working with them. Majority of the referrals come from the social workers, and we have relationships with UVM, Dartmouth, Rutland, Central Vermont, Springfield, a hospital in St. Johnsbury. So any provider who's working with that patient can refer them to us. And we even have some workers from Blue Cross Blue Shield who also refer to us. We do have a provider there who's supporting patients. So a little bit of information about the people in your community. So in 2004, we supported 130 patients in Chittenden County. 11 of those patients lived in the Williston-Richmond and St. George area. And we awarded just over $4,000 to those patients. And we helped patients in your community to pay for their housing, prescriptions, medical integrative health, fuel, garments, and nutritional support in that was all 2024 data. So our Maggie Card program, this provides discounts for Vermont cancer patients at participating businesses. We currently have, it's bumped up to 77 businesses that are part of the Maggie Card program, and we have over 500 Maggie Card holders. We are trying to add more businesses to this program. We have quite a few in the Chittenden County and Central Vermont area, but we really want to get into other counties so that no matter where you live, you can access this program with the businesses in your local community and not just when you are visiting Burlington or having to come here for treatment or something. So we are working hard to try to expand the program and get more businesses involved. So how we are funded. We receive support from foundations, grants, community partnerships, third-party fundraisers, individual donors, and our annual fundraising event. We have a few grants that we've had for several years from foundations, but that money does not fully fund the emergency fund. So we do rely on those other ways to bring in money to fully fund the emergency fund, and also so that we can run the operation side of the organization. We have never denied a patient request because of lack of funds. That is something that we work really hard at, have never had to do and never want to have to do. So we have always been able to approve requests and not deny because we don't have the funds. So our strategic plan is currently our annual cap that we are able to provide to cancer patients is $375 per year. We did just increase that. It had been $350 for a couple of years. And so we bumped it up for 2025. But we want to get up to $500 per patient per year. And when I first joined CPSF, I've been here for just over a year. I started last January. When I heard the 350, I'm like, my gosh, that does not seem like a lot. given the huge cost of cancer treatment. And it makes such a difference in these patients' lives. So we are designed to be kind of the emergency. That's the emergency part of it, is for those really urgent needs that pop up. So we are often paying for a bill that either is unexpected or just one more thing that is just feeling really, really difficult for that patient. So we hear back all the time how much it made a difference for them to have their fuel bill paid for the month, or that car repair that happened and was impacting their ability to get to treatment. So it does make a significant difference in the lives of these patients. The other, as I had talked about before, was that we were trying to get at least one Maggie card business in every county in Vermont. I would like more than that, because one is not going to have much of an impact for a patient who's living, up in the Northeast Kingdom or in Southern Vermont. So I would like to get more than that, but we're trying to at least get one. And then always trying to diversify and increase our revenue streams. So I wanted to give it, these are some patient testimonials, but I also wanted to share with you a couple of stories that have happened recently in ways that we have supported patients. So we had a medical social worker from UVM reach out to us late fall time, right before we were getting kind of our first really big cold snap, which thank goodness we are having cold snaps this year, unlike last year. Now I'm getting a little tired of it, but so we had a medical social worker reach out to us who said that this patient was out of fuel, and the fuel company would not do a delivery until a payment was made. And they did not have enough money to do that. They could not pay anything to the fuel company. So normally when a referral comes into us, we process it and a check is going out either directly to the patient or to whatever company is getting paid within 3 to 5 business days. In this situation, 3 to 5 days, at a minimum, again, depending if a weekend was happening, it might be a little bit longer, was not going to work. This patient needed immediate fuel. So I got on the phone with the fuel company and we paid that bill over the phone with our credit card so the patient could get a fuel delivery as soon as possible and have heat before the cold snap hit. We had another patient who, again, medical social worker reached out to us a few days before Christmas, and the patient had paid her monthly bills and then realized she had no money left over to buy food to have a holiday meal. And she really wanted to be able to have a special meal for the holidays. Again, this was 2 days before Christmas. Mailing a check was not going to work, especially during the holidays, and the postal service was not going to get to her on time. So we actually hand delivered a check to this patient so that she could buy groceries and have a special meal on Christmas. So those are just a few stories of how we have impacted cancer patients in Vermont. And then these are some testimonials that we have received. We often hear back from patients, whether it be a phone call, an email, or a handwritten note that they send to us thanking us. So I'll just read a couple of them. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for the generous gift from your foundation. When a person hears the diagnosis of cancer, there are so many worries that run through their mind, including financial struggles. Thanks to CPSF Foundation, that is one less thing to worry about. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And that is one of those New York patients that we are able to support through a specific grant. And then another one is, thank you, CPSF. I am so appreciative of your support as I battle breast cancer. Your gift certainly has made a difference as I recover from surgery. Being unable to work has been an added stressor, and I am now feeling such a sense of relief thanks to you. What a wonderful resource you provide to our community. And that was a patient down in New Haven, Vermont, who sent us the thank you note. So, yeah, that is the end of my presentation. Does anyone have questions? Oh, we'll start with you. Yeah, you were the first one I saw.
I was just gonna put out the idea, this club's helps sponsor a fuel program, Split the Ticket, with the Vermont Fuel Dealers Association. Are you familiar with that?
I now know. We actually have recently partnered with Borns Energy to create the Borns Energy Home Heating Fund. And with this patient, I was speaking with someone at Borns and they let me know about Split the Ticket. They told me about that, and they were a little baffled that the fuel company that the patient was receiving fuel from, that they didn't tell the patient about the fund. So I do know now, and so if this situation comes up again, I will make sure that to let the patient know that does exist.
What a wonderful program. Thank you for this. Is there a way to help support those businesses that are supporting you? Is there a list so we can thank them by supporting them?
We do on our website. We have a list of the businesses that are supporting the organization.
And what would that website be?
The website is CP. I do have rack cards if people would like to take them, but it's CPSF. So it's our initials, and then VT.org. Yeah.
So, Maggie, when you say the Maggie card, is it Maggie somebody's first name and card is a card?
Yeah.
Is this like a debit card?
Yeah.
And
No, it's just the card that we will mail out to someone who's requested it. And then they show that card to the participating businesses to show that they are a Maggie card holder. And the businesses that are participating, they have a decal that is either on their door or store window or somewhere identifying that they're a Maggie card business. But we also have them listed on our website, and we also can print and mail it to a patient if they want to have a paper copy.
Could they just go into the store and buy whatever?
Whatever the business will create what discount they want to do. So it's up to the business. Oftentimes, I think a lot of retail businesses will have like 10% off anything in the store. But it's not just retail. We have some massage therapists. We have some lawyers, I think we have participating. We have some gyms that are participating. So it's a wide variety of businesses. It's not just retail. We have some restaurants that participate. So.
Who's Maggie?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Maggie, so how the Maggie card program started was, Maggie was a woman who was battling cancer, and she was in a store shopping and had struck up a conversation with the store owner and shared that she was going through cancer treatment. And that store owner gave her a discount, offered her a discount. I think she was trying to buy a hat, and that got her thinking of, I wonder if other businesses would be interested in providing discounts to people who are either going through treatment or who have had cancer. It is not required that you are in active treatment to be a participant. So she just started asking businesses if they would like to do this and started the Maggie card program. Unfortunately, she passed away. And when she passed away, her her family, did not want this program to, be discontinued because she was no longer there spearheading it. So they asked us if we would be willing to bring it into CPSF and continue the program. So that is Maggie. And I never had the privilege to meet her, but I run into people all the time in the community who know her, and
Was she from Richmond?
she might have been. She might have been.
Thank you for coming here and explaining this to us. Would you tell us about your annual fundraiser?
Yes.
What it involves?
Yeah. So, for the past 2 years, and we are going to be doing it again this year, we have held a casino night at Hula. It is in October, so this year is October 18th. And it is, so I was not at the first one because I was not part of CPSF at the time. I was actually in the interview process. So I've only put on one of them, but it is so much fun. It was really fun. And we have some incredible chefs that donate all the food to us. And so we have really good food. We have Honey Road and Frankie's and Farmhouse Group and Great Northern and City Market all donated the food. So lots of really good food, a big silent auction, and you get to fake gamble. So it's fun.
Hi, thank you so much. When somebody uses your services for, say, feeding, how often can they come back and ask for other services? What's that system?
Yeah, so it's, there is a cap and it's a rolling year. So if we sent out a check today to
Right.
someone, they would not be eligible for the full amount. If
Yeah,
it was the
okay.
full amount, they would not be eligible again until next year, but it can be multiple years. So if you are in treatment for multiple years, or if cancer returns.
Mhm.
But we have about an 80% utilization rate of our funds, which again is striking because you think, oh my gosh, why aren't they requesting the full amount? But oftentimes it is to pay a specific bill. And so it's that bill, it's whatever the cost of that bill. And if it's close to the cap, the provider often just doesn't come back and ask for the remaining like $20 or whatever. But
And more importantly, are you Jennifer's sister?
I am.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. She is my older sister. Any other questions? Yes,
Will you be able to stay around for a few minutes?
I'm happy to.
I'd like to touch base with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
I am happy to. Yeah. Anything else? Well,
It's not such so much as a question, but having been a cancer survivor myself and my husband didn't survive, one of the programs that the hospital offered was a massage therapy weekend.
mhm.
And I don't know whether that has, do you have any links to that?
Was it the Stowe Weekend of Hope?
No,
it in
no,
Stowe?
this
Oh,
was
no.
actually at the
Oh, at the
hospital.
hospital,
Yeah,
geez.
somebody had given a grant for
Mhm.
that. And my husband said that was the most relaxed he had felt in years.
Yeah,
So,
I think that there is still a program there where they're trying to do alternative things like massage and other types of beneficial therapies.
good.
I believe there is still something with the Vermont Cancer Center, but I'm not quite sure all of what they offer.
Yeah, it would be really great for people to, in one place, know
Yeah.
all of the things that are available to
Yeah.
them.
Anything else? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. In gratitude for you speaking to us today, we'll make a donation to the Williston Central School Mentoring Program. And so there's a little thank you card. And very important job we have for you now is to pick the winning raffle ticket. So if you'll pick one ticket and then read the last three numbers.
265.
Thank you.